Videos for educational purposes, and honestly, we'd like to say that if you go ahead and modify your device, that is on you. We're not responsible if you break your device. You are on your own there. This is just an instructional guide on to show you how to do the modification. In the past, we've gone over this CH341A Programmer, and the problem is I made a short saying that this device does not need to be modded. Here's the thing. It does have auto switching. It will switch from 5 volt to 3 volt, but there are some chips that cannot handle that 5 volt touching the chip at all. For example, certain PlayStation chips. So the solution to this is to modify this device. I would like to first off apologize by saying that the modification is useless because it's at least not hurtful. Just be sure to know what you're doing before you use this device. Now, there's going to be a mix of different people saying that this modification is pointless and that this modification is not needed at all. I will argue that the modification at the very least is not harmful to the chip. Now, mind you, you could damage this device in the process, so please, 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 be very careful if you're attempting this modification. I will be attaching photos for you to follow along, and I will also be recording so you can follow along. And I hope that this video helps. It's also fair to note that there are better CH341As. There are updated ones where you don't have to worry about this issue. But this is a $6, $7 programmer. I mean, the whole set won't cost you more than $7. So yeah, it's definitely my favorite programmer, and we're just gonna go through it real quick. Just follow along, and please, please, please be careful. You're gonna need a soldering iron. You're definitely gonna need some tweezers, and you're gonna need a little bit of some flux. So make sure that you get some good flux. When we're going to clean everything off, you're also gonna need some electrical tape or some Kapton tape. It's totally up to you. And make sure you get some cotton swabs because we'll be cleaning these pads up in, they're kind of small. But good luck, be very careful, and make sure you don't damage anything. Summarize everything real quick. This last pin right here, the one that I'm touching, this last pin, I won't be going over pin numbers. I'm going to literally break it down in the simplest terms. This last pin right here, we're going to be wiring that to the middle pin right here. Of these 3 pins, we'll be wiring it to the middle. So that last pin to that middle pin. And then this pin right here, this side, we'll be wiring this to the 6th pin on this bottom row, starting from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. We only want to focus in on that pad. So from that pad, we're going to go right here. From this middle pin, we're going to go right here. Super simple. But what we're going to do before we do it is heat up with our soldering iron that last pin right here, this pin right here. Let's call this pin number 1. We're going to take pin number 1, we're going to heat it up, and with our tweezers lift it up so it's hanging in the air. Then after we're done, we're going to put some Kapton tape or some electrical tape underneath it. Afterwards, when we got this hanging up in the air, we're going to add a little bit of flux to it, and then we're going to wire a wire. Make sure you get some good decent wire. I'm probably going to use some 30 gauge wire like that. And from here to here, just like that. Once this one is hanging in the air, make sure that that leg does not touch the solder pad underneath. That's why we're going to add some Kapton tape. And then once you've soldered it to this point right here, make sure there's no short. We're going to start from here to the 6th pin from the right to the left on the bottom. Count 1 through 6 and just wire that to that. Super simple, and I promise you, if you just be very careful, you won't damage your device.
Remember,
we're gonna take that pin, the very last pin on the end, and we're gonna lift that pad up. So we're gonna heat it up, put some flux on it, heat it up, take one tip of our tweezers and try to lift that pad up without breaking it. All right, just a glob of flux there. Let's heat up our soldering iron. I'm using a TS101 for this. You can use whatever soldering iron you want. You can heat it up to about 375 is good. I'm gonna heat that up just a little bit. Trying to get this angle correct is kind of annoying right now. And we're gonna pry up slowly. There we go, it's raised, but we need it not soldered. It's still stuck to that pad right there. There we go. Now, let's clean up that solder pad real quick. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of solder wick, if you'd like, just to clean it up a little bit. There we go. We've cleaned up that pad. Nothing is wrong except for that one pin that's raised up, which is what we wanted. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. If you look carefully, see how that one leg is raised right there? That's what we want. We want that one leg, that little tiny leg, right there. We want that raised up, just like that. Which is perfect. Now what we're going to do is solder a pad to that wire, the lifted leg, to the middle pin right there. So, once again, where did I put my tweezers? In my lap. We're gonna take that one leg that's raised up, not the pad. We're gonna cover that pad that's underneath the raised leg. Don't worry about that. We need to get that out of the picture entirely. So that leg, we're going to wire to that middle of these three pins. We're going to take that leg and wire it to that middle pin, middle leg. And then on the other side is one long pin. We're going to take a wire right there and we're going to take it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth pin. Let's add a little bit of flux to both the pad, not the pad, the leg, sorry, keep saying pad and pin, to this middle leg right here. And we're gonna just set our solder down for a second, and we're gonna get a little bit of solder. I'm using Kester solder. You can use whatever you want. And I'm going to actually measure this wire. So this wire is going to go about from right there to right there. So let's clip it just a little bit. There we go. So straight to the middle pin, just like that. Now we'll be taking that pin and putting it to the sixth pin like we've mentioned before. Mind you, be very careful. You can wire it any way you want. Just make sure that you don't break that pin off. You want that pin to stay in place. And then adding a little bit of solder to it.
That's enough. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just tin it enough. Just like that. Make sure there are no shorts. I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got the right one. And there you go. Now we're going to clean that up with isopropyl alcohol. And if you look carefully, we managed to do everything without shorting anything at all. This is a little bit of excess, but it's fine. I've done longer. But yeah, that's how you modify it. Make sure you clean your pads carefully, and don't forget to add Kapton tape under that leg. Or electrical tape, whatever floats your boat.
And you under that leg right over there. See if it focuses. Yeah, right there. Under that leg, you can add epoxy, you can add Kapton tape, electrical tape, liquid electrical tape. Just make sure you don't make a mess. Just cover up that pad that's underneath that raised leg. Everything else is good. And you're good to go. No need to worry about frying anything. This thing will work as is. Now mind you, yes, it does have auto switching, but the mod, at least when done correctly, doesn't hurt. Videos for educational purposes, and honestly, we'd like to say that if you go ahead and modify your device, that is on you. We're not responsible if you break your device. You are on your own there. This is just an instructional guide on to show you how to do the modification.